آمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أما بعد. So as I mentioned, it's important for the Muslim to be concerned with that which benefits them. And as we mentioned in the days of Ashr al-Muharram, the first 10 days of the Muharram, and within this is the 10th day, Ashura, a day that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam highly encouraged us to fast this day. Also this day was the previously before the obligation of Siyam of Ramadan, it was wajib to fast the day of Ashura. But then this was abrogated with the obligation of fasting Ramadan. Also the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he mentioned about this day that it would have the previous year's sins forgiven. Also of the things that he mentioned about this day, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved Musa alayhi salam and his people from Fir'aun on this day of Ashura. So this is a day that is ahead of us, the 10th day of Al-Muharram, that the Muslim is highly encouraged to fast this day. But as I mentioned, we have to remind ourselves of these times, because many of us are not even aware of the Islamic calendar. Many of us never check what is the Islamic date. What are those actions that are prescribed and legislated during these different times of the year? What are the actions that are prohibited? What are the actions that people falsely attribute to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam? Because today it's important for us to remind ourselves that tomorrow is not guaranteed. So we cannot spend time busying ourselves with that which does not have any benefit. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he mentioned, ihris ala ma yanfa'k, be of those who are keen, determined, following that which will benefit them. وَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ وَلَا تَعْجِزْ, and seek Allah's aid. Seek help from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you to be of those who get close to Allah by all of the means that are beloved and pleasing to Him. And don't deem yourself to be unable. Don't say, I can't do this. I can't pray my daily salawat. I cannot go to the masjid because I still do haram. This is from shaitan. Seek any means possible to gain closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, following the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and always ask Allah to help you. As Allah, He mentions, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't say that Muslim in my area, he's always in the masjid. Look at me, I'm outside, busying myself with things that are haram. I can never be like this person. Ask Allah to help you. How many of us, we seek haram income and we don't stop because we don't believe we'll make the same money if we went halal. Ask Allah to help you. Don't be of those who allow shaitan to overcome them and close all doors of hope. Because maybe you don't get the wealth you had when you was earning haram. Maybe Allah will give you more. Or maybe Allah will give you something that is priceless, that He provides your heart with contentment, that you're no longer attached to the worldly life, and you become someone who pursues the hereafter. And there's nothing better than that. Nothing better than a person seeking closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ربنا إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل. We ask Allah for Jannah and that which will make us close to Jannah from actions and statements. And we seek refuge from the hellfire and that which will draw us nearer to the hellfire from statements and actions. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. And we ask God to give us the best of this life and the best of the hereafter. وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ شُرُورِ أَنفُسِنَا وَمِنْ سَيِّئَاتِ أَعْمَالِنَا مَنْ يَهْدِهِ اللَّهُ فَلَا مُضِلَّ لَهُ وَمَنْ يُضْلِلْ فَلَا هَادِيَ لَهُ وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه ومن سار على سبيله إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد. Today I had a different khutbah planned. Reminder for myself, and hopefully I only say this not to praise myself, not to make it seem like I'm anyone. This is only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. because the obstacles that I found in trying to get to the message this morning made me question my intentions of my previous khutbah that I'm not going to mention. But I had a khutbah planned. But there was also some things on my way here that reminded me of why I changed my khutbah to the topic that I'm going to talk about now. And that is the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, min husn al-islam al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'nih. From the best of a person's Islam is leaving off matters that don't concern them. From these matters that don't concern us are the distractions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala places different ones of us in different positions. Some people have places of authority. Some people are teachers and educators. Others are callers to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if shaitan cannot come to you directly, he will find other avenues to come to you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala often reminds us within the Quran, لا تتبعوا خطوات الشيطان. Don't follow the footsteps of shaitan. Shaitan plans for you. But I almost found myself becoming distracted, intending to address an issue of benefit, but yet I was thinking more for myself. So I felt that today, not being able to make it on time, rushing, different things happening, another car crash blocking me from this way, I'm delayed. But then as I'm coming, I know someone's phoned me. There's someone who wants to take shahada. So I reach, the person needs to enter into Islam. There's no delay in these things. So I'm reminded of my duty, not as an imam, I'm only the imam of this masjid. Outside, I'm a normal person just like you. There is no difference between us except that which Allah has mentioned. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Those who are most virtuous from among you are those who have the most consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So today is a reminder for myself that I hope you can benefit from. That there are people, there are things that will distract you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't allow yourself to get engaged with these things. Do not entertain these people. But of the things that I will mention of a benefit, of what I aforementioned and what I really intended to talk about. We are in the month of Al-Muharram. This is a sacred month. This is a month that divides Ahl al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah from Ahl al-Bid'ah. A time where the enemies of the Sunnah, they will curse the Sahabiyat, Ummahat al-Mu'mineen. From them, Aisha radiallahu anha. They are those who will abuse themselves, harm themselves in the name of love for the sake of Allah or love for their awliya. All of this which opposes the Sunnah. But as for us as Muslims who follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it's important that we remind ourselves that we are in need of seeking closeness to Allah. And during these days we have those opportunities. But the one who is distracted, the one who is negligent, they miss out on opportunities to get close to Allah. They miss out on opportunities of forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Days of worship, acts of worship that have virtue, but because they get distracted, busy with other affairs, they may miss out on these times. Aisha the anha, she was accused of zina. And they tried to spread this evil about her, al-Mu'mineen, among Medina, not to harm Aisha the anha. Rather, they intended to harm the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Aisha the anha, when she came to know of this accusation, and it had been spread for about a month, but she had fallen ill. She wasn't aware of what the people were saying about her behind her back. Unlike today, we know straight away. You will see as soon as you open your phone, notification, this person's talking ill about you. This person's spreading fasad about you. But Aisha the anha, what did she say her stance was? She said, my stance is the stance of Yaqub alayhi salam, the father of Yusuf alayhi salam. She mentions فَصَبْرٌ جَمِيلٌ وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ عَلَى مَا يَصِفُونَ. He said, patience, a beautiful patience, and Allah's aid is sought. The help of Allah is sought regarding that which they say with their tongues. These things are distractions. We cannot entertain these people. Rather, busy yourself with those who want good for you. Busy yourself with those actions that will make you more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه فإنه غفور رحيم.